buying the Brooklyn Bridge. It's passed into the language in America. It comes from somebody who made a career of selling the Brooklyn Bridge and various other buildings in America to people who believed that he was the owner. And it may sound difficult to believe, but he actually was prosecuted for this 3 times. Now, whether or not there were probably loads of other victims of this con man who had fallen for this sort of spiel that he could sell them this Brooklyn Bridge. And the phrase that's passed into the language is, well, if you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you. So, some of you may know, but I have also read a lot of very boring law books, thank you, because I am a lawyer and my work is in selling property. And the reason that I chose the area of property sales to make you think about would you choose carefully was because clearly the people who spent all that money giving it to this con artist, and he wasn't the only one either, he's the one famous one, clearly had been led to believe that they could take their new money in America that they'd made a century ago, become somebody important, somebody, not just someone who'd arrived in the new world and made some money, goodness knows how they made it, but they could invest and be the owner of the Brooklyn Bridge. How often do you see property sold in this country on the basis of, wow, you're really going to be somebody when you own this house? It's going to take you to the next level, this is what you're going to put everything into. So, would you buy the Brooklyn Bridge? Well, you wouldn't, would you? Because you'd have a fantastic lawyer behind you. You'd have someone alongside you who, when you're going to buy property and invest your all, usually, most people's largest purchase is in real property, which means land, buildings. If you're buying real property from a realtor or a real estate agent, as the Americans still call it, you're going to need someone very skilled and experienced to stand alongside you. And what this speech is aiming for is to encourage you to look carefully at the marketplace. Who's going to stand alongside you in what's a very big decision? The traditional way, when not many people were property owners in this country, and that's not that long ago actually, was to have somebody who was basically part of the old family firm, who was the retainer, the sort of faithful servant really as your lawyer. And probably their father and their grandfather had acted for your grandfather and your father. And you know, it was a really, really close thing that through the generations, the person you trusted with all your money and property was someone who you knew everything about them really. Nowadays, where are you going to go? The internet, obviously. Is the internet a good place? Yes, the internet is a wonderful place. The internet has opened me up to so many things. I've got so much access to so much information now, not just in my professional life, but in my family, friends, my business, all sorts of things. I have another business that's not quite so professional as mine, but anyway. The internet is great, but what I'm suggesting is that when you have something where you really need to trust somebody, that they're not going to just land you with something that it's going to cost you a fortune really. It might not be sorted out by insurance, maybe it won't in the wait, it's quite an unpleasant experience. But when you're looking for that person to stand alongside you, I would suggest that you aim a bit higher than how much money was spent on your website and how technically efficient their IT guy is. Maybe you look at their office, where they're based physically. Maybe you've got friends there. Maybe you know someone who knows someone, then you can ask after these people. Because just looking around the internet at forums is not that safe for a lawyer. Because a lawyer will, if they're any good, I mean, if they haven't bothered to do this, then they're not very good, will have taken a very careful look at their internet footprint. And they will have used somebody to clear off, anybody would have done this really if they know what they're doing with PR. They will have cleared off any bad reviews and sent us a new solicitor's letter and just got the whole thing whiter than white. So the main thing you see on the internet really is quite safe, good stuff about people. I'm suggesting when you choose who's alongside you in that sort of transaction, that you think a bit more personal on top of the internet opportunities. So what is this lawyer that helps you alongside you to buy property for you in this country going to do? This is just to give you a little bit of an insight for anyone who doesn't know or is really fascinated by this. I mean, probably a lot of you have got experiences of it already. What happens when you want to buy somewhere to make sure that you don't get caught out like those poor people on Brooklyn Bridge? The person selling will get together information about who owns it. They'll prove it with dusty old documents, or much more likely nowadays something in a computer at the land registry. They'll also get together what's actually happened to their place in the last X years since they owned it, or possibly even before. So if you know anyone that owns property, even if they're not thinking of moving yet, just keep an eye on any works that's done in case it's not done legally, because when it comes to sell, then they'll be looking through for all those documents and the evidence. They'll also be looking at not just who owns it on paper, but who may own it that's not even on the paperwork of the computer or anywhere else. Maybe somebody's put some money into the property. Maybe someone's an ex-wife that's living in the property and you didn't even notice that they were there. All sorts of people can have claims on the land that live there that are not on the paperwork. So again, a lawyer's going to be checking that out for you. Because what you don't want to do is arrive on moving day and find that the grandma who put the money into building the extension wants it back, and she's jolly well not going to move out until she does. And an Englishman's home is his castle, which you've probably heard. And you cannot, you can be prosecuted for just evicting grandma without fair hearing if she's put money into the property. The same with wife, children that are living there. And that is my favourite area of law, actually. It's left over from the Crusades, when women and children had no kind of legal rights, really, and the Crusader would go off to the wars in the Middle Ages, and he would leave the documents and the right to go to court about the property with a mate. And quite a lot of occasions, the mate would just kick the wife and children out and say, right, that's my castle now, that's my property. And this whole area of law developed where people who were weaker could go to another court that took precedent, and so even if you're not on the deeds, you could still have some rights. Now, who's going to go alongside you? I've already suggested that you look carefully personally. I want to use this example as an encouragement to look very carefully if you're looking for anyone alongside you, not just your lawyers who are checking out whether the person that's selling to you really is the person that's selling to you, and that is a whole new area which I can see the lights on, so we'll do that another time, okay? Identity fraud. But if you're looking for a lover, the father or mother of your children, if you're looking for a boss, you're looking for employees, if you're looking for your accountant, anybody that's going to be really important to you, I would suggest that you look as closely as you can into their character, how things are going to work for you in the future, what you can find out about them. I'm not meaning to suggest in the traditional lawyer way, don't do anything, don't get out of bed, don't cross the road. That is not what I'm meaning to convey. I'm trying to